Hi everybody! So hopefully you are somewhere in your home or office comfortably seated. Welcome back. I can't believe it's already the last week of the 6-week commitment that we did, but thank you for tuning in and for going back and doing the meditations. If it helped, that's exactly what my intentions were, and also just to provide the information that I currently know, and then slowly it'll start to just expand and progress into who knows what. So I kept my little blurb today quite short because even though fear is one of the oldest emotions next to disgust, I just didn't want to keep blabbing because I have a feeling I'm going to do some more stuff around some of the things that I found that results from fear. So stay tuned to that. So find a comfortable seated. Once again, if there's anything that happens with your internet connection or mine, just press pause. No need to get frustrated. Give it some time to load. Stretch out the body, grab some water, press play. It hopefully should have loaded up, and then you could come back and jump right back into your meditation. So you've got your blocks there or pillows or anything like that. If you need to take them underneath the knees or the hips, if you need to find more comfort, you can always lean up against the wall as well. Remember, meditation can be done lying down on the back, especially if you're a beginner or if you have any kind of injuries or something like that. Don't think that you always need to be up in a seated, okay? So you could either stretch while I go through this very short blurb today, or close the eyes and get yourself prepared. So fear arises from a person's interpretation that a situation is dangerous, so representing that threat to one's well-being. This can either be that physical or psychological harm, and of course is a part of the fight or flight system that is mainly triggered during times of uncertainty. So it's a coping function to protect or avoid situations or a person or persons. So if not properly processed, this is what I wanted to focus on. If not properly focused or dealt with, things like anxiety, PTSD, and phobias can result. And if it's a deep-rooted trauma, those symptoms can actually come through as flashbulb memories. So that's very common. So something horrendous like childhood sexual abuse, let's say, that could be one of those things that can change one's behavior and output to how they think and what their belief system is. Really interesting stuff. So hence the four emotions like fear, anger, disgust, and sadness actually works collectively together to provide that core self effective preparation in order to deal with environmental situations. With the rise of positive psychology, however, we're starting to see a change regarding some of the more core primary positive emotions. So just know that through time, things will actually become a little bit lighter because for the most part, a lot of the things that have been discovered have been quite a little bit more darker. So if you're not seated, get yourself prepared. Crossing your legs the opposite, so you could just work on that opposing hip flexor. And then move the flesh and the muscle back so you can really find your sit bones and you're sitting right up through the spine, creating that nice light curvature through the base, lumbar, so it's not overly done. Your belly is not falling forward. There is a slight tuck. Shoulders are stacking right on top of the hips, and then those eyes are closing. Palms can be wherever they feel comfortable. And just take a moment here to take some nice, slow, deep, subtle breaths, just checking into where you're at today. If this emotion or topic potentially triggers something, or if maybe something is just underneath the surface bubbling to your attention. And usually what that means, if you're over the age of your late 20s, it means that cognitively you're ready to deal with some of those more childhood traumas or issues or experiences. And that could even be surrounding the death of somebody or illness. So whatever causes that level of uncertainty. just like we've been doing in the previous weeks, try not to get caught up in the story if that's where you're at today. Just remain more of that present observer looking back as if that was a film clip of your life, something that has passed. Otherwise, you're just focusing on your breath, breathing in and out of the nose. From time to time, you'll notice yourself get into your head. Regardless if it's a minute of being a little bit numb to presence, or maybe it's 5 minutes down the line, you acknowledge it, you come back and scan your body from the crown of the head to the tips of the toes. Become aware of where you're holding the tension. Just through awareness, those areas will slowly start to soften. Not allowing any kind of things to distract you. So keeping those eyes closed. Try to maintain stillness as best as you can today. The reactions that you're experiencing or that you feel are little breadcrumbs, as I call it. They're little hints to where you're at in this moment, what you potentially need to work through, and what you're ready to face. Notice if you're gripping your teeth, try to soften. Create a slight part to the lips and the teeth, and resting the tongue just in the middle of your mouth. If you need something in particular to focus on, try counting your breath. Or notice the movement of the trunk line, where with every inhale, your belly expands up and out, the rib cage opens, breath fills the body. And as you exhale, releasing the breath the same way that it came in. The ribs slightly fall, and then your belly gently pulls in and back. The emotion of fear can be located in many different areas in the body and the mind, but the two root locations in the cognitive domain, it's in the amygdala, so right in the center of the brain, near the brainstem. In the physical domain, it's more around the sexual organs, the lower belly and anus. So just bring your attention toward one of those two places, maybe even both, for the remainder of our meditation. And just notice what's happening in those sections of the body. Focus on what you feel, the stories that are there. And doing your best to keep yourself very grounded and centered during this time. Scanning the body from the tips of the toes up to the crown of the head. Try to relax. Lengthen through your neck, soften through your shoulders. And try to keep the area above the breastbone palate, that collarbone, open and lifted, as if that area is smiling. You can use a slight ujjayi breath. As you breathe in and out of the nose, creating that oceanic-like sound on the exhalation, it would feel like you're fogging up a mirror with your releasing breath. At any point in time, this meditation or others, where you start to have a stronger physical reaction, keep the breath cycling. And become very aware, mindful of just what you feel. The narrative that's behind it. And then feel free to have that inner conversation. Remembering that a feeling or an experience of an emotion is supposed to last 90 seconds. It acts as information for you to deal with your environment. But if it surpasses 90 seconds, it could start to create a mood that can last for a longer period of time, and that could then result into things like anxiety, if you're holding on to that emotion of sadness, it can result into depression. And it starts to get into those complex emotions. So just like CBT, we want to deroot from its source, meaning focusing on the primary emotion. Wherever you are, taking the chin down toward the chest. Keep that length in the back of your spine, keeping your heart center lifted. And we're here for about 5 ujjayi breaths, in and out of the nose. If you need more time, feel free to stay as you are. When you're ready to close, bring your palms to prayer, pressing your thumbs against the heart. This itself is a symbolism of surrendering. Surrendering to what was, to what is, and what will be. Lengthen through the spine, find a neutral, and breathe into that area of your body that feels pain or numb, that level of great suffering, wherever it is that you hold it in your body. Breathe into that space. And maybe add a little bit of love, compassion, and forgiveness. Take your time. Namaste. So that concludes our primary emotions. Probably come September, I'll be going through some of the complex emotions. I'm going to give myself the summer months to do some research so I could ensure that I'm giving you guys up-to-date information, just like I did with the primary emotions that we did. So just continue your meditations. From time to time, I'll be uploading videos throughout, so just be sure, if you do enjoy it, just to come back, check out any videos that you found a lot of benefit to, and then just continue to practice it. But when it comes to meditation, I'm going to come back with some new series in September. So have an amazing day, stay safe, and be kind to yourself.